Hello, FlossTube. This is a special edition of a mess up that didn't happen on my last video. I went to upload the WIP Parade and it was gone. So today I'm just going to do a 23 in 23 WIP Parade for you. My name is Shanda. I live along the Continental Divide in Idaho, and welcome back to my channel. I've been getting a lot of birthday packages in the mail, and I have been getting seed order packages in the mail. And I just wanted to share with you really quickly because sometimes these boxes are works of art. This one happens to be from True Leaf Market out of Salt Lake City. But look at some of these packages are just stunning in themselves. This one happens to be some corn. I have so many seeds here this year. I am ready to hit the floor running. This one is from Johnny's in, I want to say they're out of Maine, and their packaging is much more simple, but on the front and the back, I feel they market the best for seeds. So much information on not only the front of the package, but on the back. This one happens to be some celery. I'm going to try growing celery this year. And the last one is a new one to me, out of Colorado. But look at this packaging. Yeah, my address is right here. Look at this packaging. These boxes are works of art in themselves. This is from a company called Botanical Seeds, and they are simply stunning. Also basil. There was one in here that was Hungarian blue poppies. They look more pink, but and my most exciting one that I'm ready to plant. Look at these dark purple sweet peas. Yeah, this one is out of Botanical, yeah, right here across the bottom, Botanical Interests, and they are out of Colorado. I also order from Territorial Seeds that are out of Oregon. I try to kind of stay native to my area when it comes to seeds, but Johnny's I trust in Maine, kind of across the continent for me, but sorry for that loud noise, but really good seeds nonetheless. On my last video, I had a lot of comments on this project roll. I did end up using, I believe I cut this to 26 inches. I put this main part on my long arm, quilted it, and then finished the tutorial by Vanna, the Twisted Stitcher. And again, I am so very happy with the way this project roll turned out. So the button on the front, it ties on the back, and it rolls out to about like this. You kind of just need to decide how big some of your finished projects are, and she will walk you through that determination on how big to make your own personal project roll. But I'm loving this fabric, and I do have the matching bag that I bought off of Etsy that I will show you here in a minute with one of my samplers in it. So I also want to say a quick thank you to a few people. My earrings today came from New Zealand. Thank you, Claire. Marlis, my friend from Missoula Retreat, made me these beautiful stars, folded fabric stars. These always look so intricate to me, and I've never tried making them, so maybe this year I will. Love them. And then my friend Sheila sent me a beautiful unicorn card. Very symbolic, Sheila. Thank you. And this beautiful spool. Oh, it goes this way because the button's on the front. With a sewing machine on the back, on the top. And I think I'm going to somehow put a fishing line through this and hang this. I have a small, like a feather tree in my quilting studio up in the mountains, and I'm going to hang that on that tree. Okay, Fluffy is back here and he's still under construction. I have my needle punch paraphernalia right here on the kitchen island where I'm filming. And he will probably be done in the next, as far as punched part, I want to get him done in the next week or so, because then I will be spending a little bit of time over President's holiday weekend. There's George up there, a Sharon Schnitt. And I got a pewter mug by him, part of my pewter collection. But anyway, I will be spending part of the, well, most all of the President's Day weekend up in the mountain house. So I will be near my sewing machine and I can back Fluffy with some wool and get him stuffed, and then he will be a FFO. Okay, let's talk some cross stitch. I have no quilting today. This strictly is a WIP Parade. My 23 projects in 2023. Of all of these 23, one is done, my pepperoni dip that I showed last time, and it is hanging on my sampler wall over in the living room here. But of the remaining 22, I'm hoping to get 80% of them done. I am whittling down my WIPs, and I don't have many starts planned. I did start the new Stacy Nash that I had ordered a PDF on my birthday, and I believe my friend Claire joined me in that endeavor. But other than that, if I want to start something, I'm going to, but I don't have any planned. We'll see how this year goes, but I am going to be stitching a little bit less. A friend and I were talking the other day, and I feel like I need to move more. And with gardening season coming, and I need to be up and about, I stitch for about an hour, hour and a half in the mornings. And then 2 or 3 times a week, I will stitch while I watch a movie, maybe on a Saturday night with my hubby. I call him the Squire, my Squire. Or 2 or 3 other times a week anyway, we will watch a movie, or I will watch a movie and do some stitching in the evening, or on nights that hubby has, say, parent-teacher conferences. He is a teacher, or he's gone for the night. Absolute silence. I love stitching in absolute silence. So anyway, let's start with our, so I have 22 here. The only one, actually I have 21. The only one I do not have here that is a WIP for me, but it's on my scroll frame, so it is up at the mountain house until closer to fall, is the Reverend Gordon Squash Bottom from Not Forgotten Farms. And he will come down probably after the summer, and he will be a WIP. So he's not here in this pile. So if you're keeping track, there should be 21 here. If I did my math right, or if I did my counting right here as I was collecting. My first 3 are my active WIPs, though. And then I'm slowly, as I get them finished, I'm working in others. Smalls, samplers, and a few holiday that I have this year. The first one is in my Primitive Gatherings bag that I made last summer. I want to say it's called Snowman Gatherings 2. She has a Snowman Gatherings 1 and a Snowman Gatherings 2 from Primitive Gatherings in, that's Lisa Bonjean up in Wisconsin. And the tutorial that I used to put the panel part together was Bumble Stitches, a delightful little lady over in the UK. And this bag, because it's Primitive Snowman, or Snowman Gatherings, the fabric line, is my paper snowflakes. And I have gotten a lot done on this the last couple of weeks. And here is my progress. I did change a few. Her dress is pine needles. The scissors were just not showing up, so I just used a straight black DMC. Got to fill in the deer, her skirt, her blouse, and some of the snowflakes, and this will be a done. I love that little red house. Got to finish some of those trees up there. And these are the colors. Call for colors except for those 3. Excuse me, 2. Her dress is the pine needles, and that is a call for. But the black scissors I made black. And I did figure out last time when I was showing this There are a few splotches. I was drinking bottled water and I dropped a little bit on this when I was stitching, but I'm going to darken those up with some distress spray, a little bit of distress spray when I'm done. So anyway, there's that. The next current WIP I have is in my, just a bag I made. It's a Christmas bag. Vinyl front. I make all kinds. I can't remember the calico. The tutorial I use for my vinyl bags is from a stitcher, a floss tuber. Her name is Calico. If that is incorrect, I'll put her name across the bottom. But I'm sure it's Calico. And she did a bag tutorial with vinyl, making vinyl bags. Awesome job. I make all kinds of bags depending on the mood I'm in or the materials I have on hand. So in this one is our Tannenbaum. And last time I kind of said we were going to go to this one next, but we started with this one. This was December and January. If you're keeping up on the homework and stitching along with me, this one is December and January. And then I looked really closely at Brenda's chart, the way she has you put it together. And we're going to kind of be going in a clockwise and end up here. So this is December, January. This is February, March. It's the one that says, oh, Christmas tree, oh, Christmas tree. Oh, love it. Right, that one right here. This is the one we're going to be doing next. Not this one down here. I kind of got ahead of myself. They both have cute houses in them, so I was a little bit off kilter. And I'm going to show you this really quick because this is the way Brenda has you put this chart together. See, it's all long, and there's marks that you can follow. So right here behind my head, we did the sheep with the sheep with the sleigh. And now we're going to go do this one, and then this one, and then Santa, who's really, I can't wait to stitch him. Santa, I want to say, is June and July, Christmas in July. And then the snowflake is August, September. So we should be done with this in plenty of time to get it all laced and in the box. I do want to say I've had so many questions on the box. I do have the box. And I only got it about, I don't know, maybe a year ago, if that. I've told a couple people where to get the box, and she does have boxes available. If you hurry, I don't know how many people have been out and gotten boxes. Beach Cottage Stitchers. She is an online store only down in Southern California. She does charge a little bit to get that box shipped to you because that box is so lightweight and so fragile. I believe it goes first class only. So hop on over there, see if she has any left. The way you can find them is search on O Tannenbaum, and you got to spell it right, and it'll bring up the O Tannenbaum chart by Brenda Gervais, and then underneath that it says chart only, kit and box. So go over and see if she has any left. At one point she had, when I ordered mine several months ago, she had close to 20 of them left. And then at one point I thought I saw 5. And then at one point I saw 9. So if you hurry, put me on pause, turn me off, whatever. And if you want the box, you can go over and get the box from her. But anyway, this is I haven't done anything to this. This is on 36 count. 36 count everything else by Mystic. So this is the way it is going, and I have started my next one right down here with this little tree. Whoops, kind of high there. But anyway, join in with us. This is on everybody's list, and it's kind of a big one because you get one of them done, and then you still have 4 left, 4 or 5. So, but this is my one that I've gotten done. I love that sheep. So go grab your box and join us if you like. It's not too late. We did December and January with the sleigh, and now we're on to February and March. 1 small for 2 months. So, okay, and then the next active WIP I have is in a bag also that I made. And I believe this is branded by Sweetwater, by Moda. And this is one of my very favorite bags. I'm in an agriculture area and I love the outside life, gardening, ranching, farming, all of it. So this is one of my favorite bags. And this is Elizabeth Chardonnay. I should say it's Elizabeth Chardonnay W, because that's the name of the pattern by La Di Da, and it does say Elizabeth Chardonnay W right on the sampler. So, and I've gotten a lot of progress on her. I got her border done, it met up, and I'm starting to fill in. Those are her colors. This is all called for. Most of them are DMC with a very few weeks dye works, overdyes. There she is. She's going to be so pretty. This one is, I picked 4 of my bigger samplers out of this stack. And I'm working on 1 sampler a quarter. If I get it done, fine. Hallelujah. If I don't, I'll put it away and work on the next one. This one I should be able to have done by the end of March. So with Elizabeth Chardonnay being my first quarter sampler stitch, my second quarter sampler stitch is in my matching project bag with my project roll. It's on the floor already. I ordered this project bag, sorry, I have an itchy nose, off of Etsy, Mary Creations by Mary Rose. And she did have some left. You can see that. This is Housing Little Birds by Blackbird Designs. Love this chart. But it's a big girl too. And I'm stitching this one with called for, so I'm not going to pull out the threads. But I got my border bones in, and they all matched up. So she's a big girl. But this is my second quarter of 2023 stitch. And it is one of the 23 and 23. So I'll start putting them in here. My third quarter WIP stitch is, and most of these now I have not gotten much done on, because that's why they're a WIPs. This one is literally a start. But when I start something, I fully intend to finish it. I think in the last 4 years, I've only abandoned 4. So here we go. The Lucy Mac Sampler by Homespun Prims by Lori. This is from 2016. This has got O Come Thou Font of Every Blessing on it. It's one of my very favorite hymns. And the houses. This one checks all the boxes. Just all the boxes. I love it. Lori, you are knocking it out of the ballpark. This one is all DMC. And here is my very small start, but I'm calling it a WIP. My flosses. This is on 32 count lamb's wool. Oh, it's just beautiful fabric. And then my fourth quarter stitch is in a bag that I did order off of Etsy, but I apologize. I do not have, do I have? She doesn't have a label sewn in, and she is on Etsy. Gamma's Treasure Shop at Etsy.com. And this bag I absolutely love. It's, as you can tell, this fourth quarter sampler is a Christmas sampler. Beautiful bag. And it is a kit that I got from Spring Green, Wisconsin, Country Sampler. And I kind of freaked out when I got this kit, because look at how dark. Let's see, I want to make sure this is going the right direction. It goes like this, But look at how dark this linen is. And it's mostly DMC. But then when I was in Spring Green over the summer in June, I saw this one on the wall. This is Weeks Tin Roof Confirmation. It's what I wanted to see, so. Oh yes, and I do apologize. It came with a thread bed. This bag came with a thread bed, and it does have gammas on it. G-A-M-M-A, not grandma, just gamma, G-A-M-M-A. Gamma's Treasure Shop. Okay, now we're down to the WIPs that are just alphabetical. I'm going to work on them and fit them in as I can. One of the very first ones I want to get finished from the booklet from Hollyhock Farm, Stacy Nash, is one called 1776 Flower Urn. And I am doing this on 22 count, just some mysterious Lugana. But look at how tiny that flag is. It has a serious wrinkle in it here. This is one of my Mania starts from Mania, May of 2020. Just as lockdown was starting, right? We remember those days, and yeah, I was crazy enough to start 31 projects, but a lot of them I've gotten done, and a lot of them I'll get done this year, the rest of them. Oh, this is in my Holly Hobby bag that I made. Holly Hobby. Who doesn't remember Holly Hobby? I had a whole Holly Hobby bedroom. I remember I had blue and white gingham wallpaper. And then Holly Hobby dolls and Holly Hobby prints on the wall. And it's just got this blue light inside. But Holly Hobby is such a kindred spirit. She just sits there. My dog would just sit there on the bed and listen to me. I was probably, I don't know, 8, 10, 12 years old. The next WIP is another bag I made. Strawberries. That's a clue. Chocolate dipped strawberries with a brown inside. Fairy Cottage by Plum Street. And this is one that, even though it's not started, I'm counting as a WIP because I'm starting it over. When I started this, I can't remember. I'd started it on like 25 count Lugana. Yeah, there's some over one in this one. And I went, ugh, so stupid. So I'm starting this over on 36 count Barb's Blend. Real pretty. And this one is mostly, it is all over dyes. This one is going to be so stunning. And it's a pretty small one. It's 112 by 83. A real beautiful, beautiful stitch. Again, Plum Street, Fairy Cottage. 2 sheep in that one. The house is over, the little house is over one right here. She makes, if you get the chart, she blows that up in the back so that you can have a little bit of an eye reprieve as you're stitching that little tiny house. The next one, there's 2 in this Amazon bag because I'm stitching them. They're both Christmas. One is from Pineberry, and I'm sorry, I don't have a really good picture, so I will flash the chart way back here. Christmas 1878 by Pineberry Lane, and Merry Christmas Pin Keep by Stacy Nash. And I'm doing them both in red. One is 221. Oh, sorry. The Merry Christmas Pin Keep is with red currant, and the Pineberry Lane Christmas 1878 is with DMC 3777. These are both on 36 count Up in the Attic by Fox and Rabbit. So here I've started a little start, but it's a WIP. These two I want done for Christmas. Pineberry Lane's Christmas 1878. And on the other end, I have the Merry Christmas Pin Keep by Stacy Nash. Really small starts, but they're both on the same piece of fabric. And I didn't want to separate them. They're both with red. They're both kind of red work. They're both Christmas stitches. So they're in this really simple little Amazon bag to get done. So there was two more. This one is a crinkle. This is a project bag from Jeanette, my friend at Maggie's on Main, and her and Cheryl have their own FlossTube now. Garnet Rose Stitches, I want to say Stitchers, Garnet Rose Stitchers. Go check them out. Bella Rose Needleworks, she makes lots of project bags. And this project bag I had given her fabric for that was from a stash of a dear friend who had a very tragic death. Should not have happened. Total accident. Very sudden, very, very tragic death. This one I started at my retreat with Christy, Daisy K's Primitives. We went to the Quilter Station retreat in Independence, Missouri, and Alma had given us delicious autumn. And this one I wanted to start at the retreat so I could say I started this with Alma. She gave us the threads. Look at those rich saturated colors without even looking at the linen. This is on, I want to say it was on Wren. Yep, Wren, 36 count red. And here's my small little start. But you put these up here with this. Oh, saturation for eye candy. Oof. And that is delicious autumn. We also got the real cute little squirrel one in this retreat. Yeah, fall gatherings. And of course, I'm going to try not wrinkle too much. In Blackbird style, everything with it. The fabric, the little adornments, ribbon, rickrack, the whole, everything came. It was just amazing. I'm not going to put that one away quite yet because I don't want the crinkle to happen. The next one is in a project bag made by me. This style I followed I believe it was Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch. And I love birds. I love birds. I love gardening. I love to be outside. Anything nature. Anything nature. I love it. This is Grateful, Thankful, Blessed by Brenda Gervais. This one is me. I'm stitching on 20 count Vintage Country Mocha. And I am loving my colors with this one. Called for colors, just not called for thread, or called for linen. That house was a work of love. It's a big one. And this was from my friend Lisa when we were stitching this together. I think Lisa, Lisa's Hoops and Hooks on Instagram. She and I started this together, and hers, well, I think hers was started way ahead of mine. And we were stitching on it together, but I didn't get too far. But she had sent me that. Okay, the next project bag is from Celeste Creates. You can see the difference here a little bit. These kind have a contrast at the top with some rickrack. This one I make with novelty fabrics that I don't want to cut up. This one, I don't know who this is from. Just maybe, I don't want to say. But this project is for my daughter, and she is such an outdoorsy girl. So when I give her this project that's in here done, I'm going to give her this bag too. This is Heaven and Nature Sing by Kathy Barrick. And this one is on 25 count Lugana. My daughter is not a linen person. She doesn't like linen. She doesn't like stitching on linen. She has tried it and not going to finish some of her things because she doesn't like it. But this is such a pathetic start. The body of the, and the tail of the deer. That is all I have done. This one needs to be done by December, so this one I really got to put a move to the groove. And 1827 doesn't mean anything to me, so I may put either her birth year or maybe the year she and her husband were married. They're both such outdoorsy people, and then put their initials in there somewhere. They weren't, this is Christmas, but if I turn it kind of into a wedding sampler, maybe with their initials or something, you could kind of get away with leaving this one out all year long. Just love this one. Call for colors, just 25 count vintage cloth. It's from Lori Holt. And my daughter just does not like the look of linen. She doesn't like to stitch on linen. So in honor of her, I thought I could oblige her and just stitch it smaller on 25 count. I think I'm going 1/1. It's got good enough coverage. The colors are saturated enough. Really good coverage for me. Next one is a small. It's in one of my favorite project bags of all time. It's just got some labels on it for baking, cooking, canning. I don't remember the name of this fabric line. This is, I believe this was a freebie. It's by Blackbird. Now I know my ABCs. I'll flash this back here. I'm just sure this was a freebie. I'm doing this one in blue, which is I loved this blue from Color and Cotton Winter Sea. This is going to be a small little pillow tuck. And this is probably 22 count, 24 count Lugana or Ada. And then I'm going to tea stain this one. Oh. See, ones like this, I can fit in amongst some of those bigger samplers. Slam dunk. Slam dunk. 6 left. Oh, fall bag. That's a clue. Blackbird Designs Patchwork Pumpkin. Love the little quilting motif. It looks like they're like Missouri stars or friendship stars on that pumpkin, but the house is brick. This one, it's going to be very deceiving because the stitch count is 103 by 103. But there are so many doodads and bits and bobs and fiddly little things there in this border. This one is on, this was a mania start for me in 2020, May of 2020. And I didn't get very far, but 28 count, I want to get this one done. My start. Really small, but these smaller ones, I'm sure I'm going to hate myself and say, oh, I can do this in a night or two. And I probably could, but like I said, I'm reducing my stitching time a little bit each day because I need to move more. Okay, we're down to 5. Joe Martin, Glad Tidings is the line of this fabric. So that should be a clue that there is a Christmas sampler in here, a Christmas project. 32 count Lugana Over the Moon by Color and Cotton, and it is, oops, oh, it came apart here. I'll go like this. Peace and Goodwill Sampler by Chessie and Me. Ooh, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, 32 count Lugana, Over the Moon. Looks like I'm doing 1/2. Yeah. No small start. But it is a start nonetheless. I think it was my friend Christy, Daisy K's Primitives, that said you can't have a finish unless you have a start. And there for a while I was saying start less, stitch more, but there can be a happy medium with both, right? It's a start. Now I get to finish it and enjoy it on my wall at Christmas. This is probably going to be the next one I start after Paper Snowflakes is done. Or not start, but work on. Saltbox Quilt Sampler. And I'm doing this 1/1 on 28 count, so it is very small. 1/1 on 28 count. Oh, sand. It's right on here. So it's gonna be very small. And there's a rogue thread. Anyway, sheesh, I'm gonna love this one. This one I will probably have professionally framed. Called for threads on the sand. This is a bag that I made. I want to say this is fabric by Kim Deal. Not sure about the lining. My thread complete note. Just a very feminine line. I don't know what line it was, but I'm pretty sure it is Kim Deal fabric. This project bag, this is what I made for knitting actually. Brick Rack and Polka Dots is the designer, and she sells it at Quilt Crossing in Boise, Idaho. And it's practical project bags, and it comes in 3 sizes. Ginormous for big knitting projects, this size, and then a small one. So, but I like this because it's all vinyl all the way through. It had a handle. I just can't make these anymore because I don't have access to a serger like I did when I worked at the quilt store. They also sold all Bernina products. And even though I worked in the long arm department, sometimes I got to use the serger before or after hours. And this one I did. I made probably 30 of these kinds of project bags and sold them at a knitting group that I was part of at the time. But anyway, I'm still using these now for cross stitch. Heartstring Sampler's Schoolhouse Coverlet Drum. And this is done with, this is the one that's done with DMC 221. House is done. Well, not done, but and that house is a big one. It's a schoolhouse. It's supposed to be big, right? It's gonna be a beautiful drum. I'm gonna attempt to put this drum together myself. I've not done that before, so we will see how that goes. 2 more. Woohoo! Christy bag from Crosshatch Quilts. She sent me this. I'd sent her a bag, and she made one for me. Joe Morton fabric. Just scraps of Joe Morton fabric. And this is housing Turkey Hollow Farm from Stacy Nash. Love that cheddar house. Oof da. I'm not going to pull out the fabric, the threads. This one is on 36 count cream and sugar by Fiber on a Whim. And my border goes like this. Is done, and it matched up. Oh, beautiful. This one I'll probably tea stain when I'm done with it. Lightly, because those are overdyes. Again, love this one. Just one of those things that there aren't enough hours in the day. And again, I don't want to sit all day long. Very bad. I believe it was Tina Teen Eager on Instagram said we need to move more. As stitchers, we need to protect our heart and we need to move more. And spring is coming, gardening season, just to get outside, walk around the neighborhood. I have, when I spend the summers in the mountains, I have eons of beautiful trails to hike and to walk just right around the house. I don't have to drive very far. Most of them I just even walk to. So walk down by the river. I get my heart rate up more going up incline rather than lots of flatland walking. So I still get my heart rate up. Oh, okay. And the last one is a project bag that I made, and I want to say this is fabric Indigo Junction. Amy, oh, I apologize. All of a sudden her last name has escaped me. Amy Barrick? Amy, I'll put it across the bottom of the screen. I love this. This has got a bunch of sewing motifs, and so this is kind of a clue as to what's in this bag. This is from the Sewing Club book by Blackbird. And I saw Carol had finished this one and just inspired me. Carol Saltbox Stitcher, Willing Hands. Again, in classic Blackbird design fashion. Lots of doodads, lots of bits and bobs, but oh, so beautiful. And this one I have a start on. I'm a border girl. Once my border is done, I have a clean slate. I know my border is going to match up. I know I can fit all the motifs inside that border. But again, is it going this way? Yeah, it goes this way. 32 count Abecedarian by R&R. I believe no, it's called for as 36 Heartland, but I had some of this 32 count Abecedarian, so I'm going to use that. I'm not going to put it in the box. I don't have the box. I am going to frame this one for my quilting studio. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, that is it. Thank you for joining me on my WIP Parade today. I only have room down here to work on ones that I'm actively going to work on for the year. So 23 and 23, actually I'm down to 22, almost 21. But I get the pedal to the metal because this is what, February 10th, and I gotta get going. So thank you for joining me today. Stitch, garden, look at those seed catalogs, read, paint, scrapbook, knit. Sorry, I just had a coughing attack. Do something creative. Make a special meal for your loved ones. We're coming up on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day and President's Day. I always look forward to a love letter from my husband. I'm not really big on flowers unless they're out in the garden. If it's something plants, you can plant. But in February, there's not a lot to be had at nurseries or anything for flowers, perennials that you can plant out in your garden. But my husband is pretty good at writing love letters, and I can always pretty much count on one on my pillow on Valentine's Day. So have a good one. Tell those around you that you love them and show them, and stay safe. And I will see you in a couple weeks.